Hello, my dear friends. Marriage, as you know, is the noblest form of human relationship. That is where commitment, love, and all manner of virtues come to play on a daily basis. But I discover that for reasons for lack of knowledge or information, a whole lot of couples are enduring their marriages instead of enjoying them. If you are a married couple or you are engaged to be married, this is your channel. Simply join me. Let me give you the kind of information that will take your marriage to the next level. Hello out there, I welcome you once again to this wonderful edition of Marriage Without Tears. My name is Felix Okeke. I'm your marriage counselor and coach and your host on this very particular production. What are we discussing today? Simply put, how to resuscitate an ailing marriage, a marriage that is unhealthy, a marriage that is going down in terms of joy. How do we improve on it? How do we get it running again? How do we get that same energy, that same joy that used to be the beacon of that home? How do we get it running again? That is our discussion today. That is the topic we are dealing with today. So I want you to call on your spouse, your partner out there. Come together, let us do this together so that at the end of the day, your marriage will be improved dramatically. What are we saying today? What do we do when your marriage is going down the drain? When it appears as if all the joy and all the excitement you once had is almost lost, what do? The first thing you must do is acknowledge the fact that you need a counselor. You need somebody who has the training and the knowledge to deal with the kind of issue you are dealing with. I have heard so many people say, especially married couples, I have heard them say, oh, I will not allow a third party. We don't want a third party to come into our marriage. And my question is, what kind of third party are we talking about? Is it the gossiping third party? Is it the third party that will, criticize both of you? Or is it the kind of third party that has the knowledge and the experience to deal with your issue? Let me ask you, if you have a car problem, a problem in your car, who do you call? You call for a mechanic. You have a plumbing problem in your house. Who do you call? You call for a plumber. Now that you have a problem in your marriage, why wouldn't you go for a therapist, a marriage counselor, somebody who has the training and experience to deal with your matter? That is one area where you must get it right from the beginning. Anytime you discover that somehow your marriage is no longer going the way it ought to, then look for somebody who has the knowledge and experience to deal with it. Some people may choose their pastors. I love pastors. I am also a pastor. But the reality is that not every pastor is a marriage counselor. I have had situations where some pastors are going through terrible experiences in their home. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Then, of course, if you're having a problem in your home and you can't solve it, how then do you go out to solve another person's problem? The reality of the situation is that not every man of God, not every pastor is a counselor. I ask you to look for a counselor, a married counselor, someone who knows what you are going through, who will be able to draw out your strengths and weaknesses, is able to remove your weaknesses, hype on your strengths, and allow you to build on your strengths. That is what is very important in this matter. The second thing you must do, try as much as possible to point out those areas of dysfunction in your marriage. What are those critical things that are causing problem between you two? What is the thing? I usually say something. If you don't know the cause of a thing, definitely dealing with the effects is frustrating, is unnecessary, really. So the very first thing you must do is to know the cause of the problem. What actually is the cause? Is your man going after other women? Why is this so? What has given rise to that? Why has he removed his focus from you and is looking at other women? Has he become a drunk? Somehow he drinks gallons of alcohol. Why is that so? Has he left the company of good people and is now mingling with unworthy friends? Why is that so? You must dig down deep root. Look for the root of the problem. What is the challenge you are facing? As a woman, I have had so many women, anytime that they are drawing a list of the shopping they are going to do, instead of drawing the actual list, they will triple the amount. They will make the amount, triple the whole amount, so that at the end of the day, they will have a stock, a particular portion put aside. Why are you doing that? That is dishonesty. That is lack of integrity. But why is this so? I have seen some other women also take their eyes away from their husband and begin to, cohort with other people, even their husband's friends. Why is this so? As a man, which area have you defaulted? Why is your wife doing that? So you must be, you must be objective about these things. Look out for why it is so. If you can know the actual cause of that problem, then the solution becomes very easy. Before I go into number 3, I would like to ask you, have you actually subscribed to this channel? There's a red button here. If you click on that red button, you will get subscribed. And at the end of this production, if you have other views or ideas, something that you want us to deal on, or some things we didn't point out in the course of this production, please feel free to do so in the comment section. I look forward to having your comments on a weekly basis. And then, what is the third thing you must do? The third thing you must do when your marriage is going down the drain is to watch your tongue. Watch your tongue. Check the use of language. Are you in the habit of nagging your spouse, in nitpicking, in criticizing him, in using acerbic language? What is the kind of word you use at this period? That will determine whether there is hope for your marriage or whether your marriage is lost. The kind of word you use. I have seen women tell their husband, please keep quiet while I talk. I want to talk. Keep quiet. That is out of place. I have seen men so controlling their wives in such a manner that the woman can hardly even say a word without being rebuked. So, what kind of language are you using? What kind of language are you using at such a period in time? It's very, very important. You must watch out for your language, because anytime or derogatory language is used in marriage, before you know it, if you don't check it, before you realize what is happening, the marriage will continue losing its steam. It will continue losing its taste until day will come when you discover that you can no longer pick it up anymore. So it's very, very important that you watch the use of your language, the kind of words you use in times like this. Very, very important. Number four, what you must also do at this time is to prayerfully and in love communicate to one another and with one another. Prayerfully. I use the word prayerfully because it is very, very difficult, if not impossible, to change any human vessel. As a matter of fact, you can change a cow, you can change a dog, you can tame a dog, you can even tame a lion. But many times it is difficult to tame the human vessel, because we have this capacity to try to defend ourselves. Even when we are wrong, we try to defend ourselves. When we are accused and when a certain emotion arises, we tend to defend ourselves. That is the human nature. But when you prayerfully go before that individual, when you go before that individual in a love language, it becomes easy for that individual to actually hear what you are saying. And possibly in the privacy of his heart, you'll be able to make amends and make some certain changes. So, prayerfully and lovingly communicate with one another. Communicate with one another is very, very important at this period in time. Very, very important. And I pray that you take this to heart. The fifth and final thing I want to say is love and respect, or rather respect and honor. Respect and honor one another. Respect is the oxygen that drives every wonderful relationship. The capacity to respect one another. As a woman, you ought to know that the man is the crown that you are wearing, is your crown, is the one through which God ministers grace to your family, is the one who is carrying the leadership icon, is the one that will make people to respect and regard your word, is the one that makes other men find it difficult to even accost you, is that the influence of that man is very, very important, is all around you. And I have seen so many women out there. They can respect their pastor, they can respect their professor, their teacher, they can even respect their office boss. But when it comes to respecting their husband, it becomes a difficult story. But I pray that tonight you will learn how to take your man to heart, respect and honor him, because he's the crown over you. He's your glory. So please respect him. And as a man also, I want to let you know that that woman had so many options and she chose you. She chose you and she chose to become the mother of your children. She chose you and she chose to be the one that will partner with you so that you fulfill the call of God upon your life, so that you fulfill the vision that God crafted in you even before you were conceived. She is the one who left every other name she answered in her father's house, dropped all of them and followed you. Therefore, learn how to get her closer to you. Learn how to love her. Learn how to respect her. Learn how to honor her. If you do these three, there is no challenge that you cannot surmount. Marriages can, suffer from different, the topsy-turvy, the pressures and the stress of life. But I can tell you right now that if you stick with your wife, if you can love and respect and honor one another, you will always come out of the deep. I pray that you do so. And I thank you. Please look at that red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed. And let's continue to do this even next week. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a wonderful time. God bless your home.